That's when you really love your engine.
Well, Lester, this is the debrief, man. All the stuff we've done.
From over
a year.
Something hours or yep, it was a year.
Yep.
You started in June.
Yep, I got the Facebook notification. Hey, remember this?
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the first of hopefully many helicopter flight training vlogs. Today is day one. It's very exciting. I'm probably a little nervous. It's the first time I've started a brand new type of flying since I guess I got my private pilot's license, or maybe pilot training.
There she is.
I don't think you complained too much about finishing in a 44.
It was a lot cooler
Compared to the 22.
Ooh, it's hot here.
Take care of that with a flick of a switch.
There you go.
It's a lot more stable, you know, and a lot more room. As you can see, it's a little snugger.
Yeah.
I don't know about a 38, but
It's like when I got my private, I was in a 152 with a guy who was 6'2".
you know, it's more comfort, especially in the auto rotation that we've done. 3, 2, 1, good. Down right aft. All right, split the needle.
Check, check. Not much of a check.
Trying to think, like, is this thing auto rotating? I'm literally asking that. All right, start your flare easy, a little bit more, roll the throttle in. We got to do one more. Did you think that was an auto rotation?
No, but I mean,
I had to look at the damn needles and see if it was split.
So a year of training, man.
Well, yeah, last June, we had a lot of things to deal with, including COVID.
Well, let's start from the beginning.
You remember what the first day was? I know it was in June, but I don't remember what day.
It was early June. I just remember I found you at the flight docks when I got my medical.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was bored in March and I called you. And then we came back in late May for June. June is when we finally did the first lesson.
We did the, yeah.
And so what'd you think? What'd you think on the first lesson? How?
I still remember to this day when we pulled it up and we did a couple patterns, and then I said, all right, we're going to try to hover. And I'm like, okay, it's not even an hour and you was rock solid. That's pretty good for one hour. Eventually you'll get the nose to where you want it to stay.
It's a little ugly.
Actually, I mean, you're doing fantastic. Usually, literally, we were all over the place. How much time you got in those other ones?
10 minutes.
And I said, all right, where you flew that? He goes, oh, I haven't flown a helicopter. I think I had 10 minutes on an OH-58, I think.
Yeah.
And I was it. I'm like, you're kidding me. And then, because I'd never seen anybody hover that quickly before. And then when we got into your background about what you've been flying, I said, well, that helps out a lot, but it's still, in other words, even in a fighter with a small movement, you tend to move a lot, but you're still not hovering.
Yeah.
You know, between all four pedals and the pedals and the collective and your cyclic. So that was, I said, man, this kid's got something here. He's going to do real good. And we made it through the S473 with the 20 hours of dual.
Yeah, well, I mean, even going farther back, I remember the first time we did down the levees.
Okay.
Or you can hold.
This is what I like.
I can get you westbound. I have a king air on a
Don't climb.
left base of 50 left. I can hold for a minute.
Holy crap, yeah.
That was like lesson 1 or 2. That was so much fun. We went to Lincoln Beach.
Yep. And we'll kind of side step. All right, push forward. All right, you got this bush right here. Make sure our tail's going to clear everything. Go all the way. Let's use that. Oh, and I'm going to show you why. All the way, all the way, all the way. Like I said, you can get into anything, right?
Oh, wow.
You know, those were really cool, eye-opening moments for what the helicopter was capable of doing.
Yeah, we did a lot of low flight to get started with. And we actually did a little sightseeing, if you remember right, you know, where the New Orleans plane landed on the 737 landed on the levee back in 1980. Okay, well guess what? You're staring at the spot.
No, that little green strip right there.
In between, you see the canal to the left of it?
Yeah.
On the right is a levee. It's hard to see, but you can see the levee down below us. But that levee continues on to the other side. He was to the left side of the levee, to the right side of the canal, and I think he was coming this way. Watch when you get closer. Obviously, with a Cessna, maybe even a T-38, you know, everything calm, it's fine. You can put it down there. But a 737 full of people and fuel?
Yeah, no way.
That's Mark Mariota. That's our NASA plants. He used to make the space tank, the shuttle tanks.
Issue plant?
Yep, right there.
They don't do it. What do they do now? They make the SpaceX
They
stuff.
don't, I don't know if it's SpaceX or whatever other rocket they got.
Dragon.
I don't know if it's the Dragon or not, because that's Elon Musk.
Right.
Is he using that for that? It might be the next, whatever we got coming out after that. I kept looking at the pictures that just came up from 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think about exactly where it was. And I seen the boat, so I knew. And I seen this inlet right here, and I seen the canal. We even have pictures of the cannon out there by Battery Bienvenue.
NASA.
Right off the nose, if you look into the weeds, you'll see a big brown cannon. Right in that opening. See it?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the powder magazine right there, but you can see the cannon still laying there. Turn. They said it was never really used, it was never fired, never to defend anything. But it's built in 1830s.
How'd they get to it? Boat?
Yeah, that's the bayou right there, Bayou Bienvenue. All of this was hard land. So if any boats try to come in from Lake Bourne, that was one of the first defenses they had. They had a couple other ports out here too, but it wasn't a big port, it was just a battery.
Where's the actual cannon?
Right there in the opening. See the brown thing? It's a bit of water, but the dirt comes in, and it gets a mud flat right there. You can actually see it right there. You see it? See the hole?
Yeah. We went to NASA. We saw Six Flags.
I've never been to the Six Flags before.
Me neither.
You can go ahead and contact approach now, 133.15.
This is Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Not the last one, the one before was partly filmed here when the dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, Jurassic World or whatever.
Right. The first one with the girl and the guy.
Let's slow down a little bit.
Yeah, we can drop in a little bit. So just remember, if I say get us down, you can just drop the collective and that right pedal in, we'll get an increased rate of descent. I think around these areas right here is where the movie was made, because the buildings kind of look familiar.
Wow.
Alright, stop your rate of descent, just pull up, and that way you keep level. And go ahead and make an orbit if you want. Not much really to see anymore. Yep.
We got to see all kind of, we went to AMA.
Yep, that's right, I forgot about
where I used to keep my airplane.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I used to fly.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's the plane I fly, that moon out of there.
Got the gas pump still.
Yep.
Go to the concrete, then turn around.
Yeah.
You know, then eventually you got more comfortable with the machine and started soloing right at 20 and a half hours, I believe.
Yep.
That way, because I'm going to be on the taxiway when I talk to you. I don't want to be too close. I've seen guys, look, I've got the shit scared of myself. Roll it off.
Yeah, November 36 right, cleared.
All right, just stand by, okay?
Cover the option, yeah, probably, yeah. 36 right.
All right, just me.
Okay, free up and down, all right? Look right at me or you can look at the building. You hear me, right?
Yeah, you hear me this time? Okay. All right, 3 green, top C, W, you're out.
Weight's going to be a little bit off because you got 100 pounds less on that side, but it should be pretty stable.
Sure it's just 100?
Right. Yeah, don't give me no shit.
Yeah.
Now you can ease it down. All the way. Nice and smooth.
how was that experience stepping, you know, first time in a helicopter by yourself? How was for you?
I don't know if I was nervous or just like, please don't let me screw. I don't care if I die, just please don't let me screw up.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was squirrely. That thing was a go-kart.
Yes, it was.
You know, but once I got airborne, you know, you solo one thing, you soloed, you know, it was just one of those things that was.
Well,
it was
each
fun.
one's different. And,
Yeah.
you know, we just talked about it, and like I say, solo in this one's a little bit different from the 22.
Yeah.
I tried to give you as much heads up. Like when I step out, you got to realize your weight balance is going to be very different.
Yeah.
You had 200 pounds left on the left side of the aircraft, plus 200 pounds lighter in the nose.
Yeah.
Clutch lights out, RPM's good, everything's in the green. Jeez Louise, okay, that was ugly. It went back.
You know, so your cycle placement would be a lot different. And we've actually overcome that a little bit.
Yeah, we did the weights. We did for the first one, for the 22, we put the dumbbell. Remember we had the dumbbell in the...
Did I do that for you?
Yeah, we did the dumbbell.
Okay, I couldn't remember if I did it for you. I know I did it.
Yeah, because
now,
I remember
we did it for Greg.
On the solo, I'm watching you farmers carry the 2 dumbbells from the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or to the airplane.
That traffic is 9321.
Do on Roger, continue cross from behind that traffic, be number 3. Number 3 to the 2-1.
He didn't skip leg day.
447, number 2, runway 36 right, cleared for the option. Traffic is your follow be a full stop.
Clear for the option, 36 right, into 447.
No, that helicopter in the summertime was always, we were almost redline the whole time. It was
Yeah, it
using
was
all the
max
patterns.
gross.
Yeah.
You know, we always get, 6 gallons each tank, or 3 and 3,
5
or 4
and 5.
or
It was always
something.
5 and 5 or something like that.
Because I was at least an hour.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't do more than that. But I didn't realize that you actually had the 90 pounds of dumbbells in there.
Yep.
And for some of you idiots out there to go, oh, well, they just got to learn how to do it the hard way. Well, it's very disconcerting when the machine comes up and it doesn't come up right and you get into a pilot-induced oscillation.
Yeah.
It does help a lot. And I think I gave you an hour with 90 pounds. And then the next time we pulled out 45 of it. You only had 45 in there.
And then that was it. I only got 2-point-something hours of solo.
Yeah, and then we pulled it out completely after that.
Yeah. Well, so that's when, you know, the worst happened, unfortunately. We've already talked about that. I mean, there's a whole episode on kind of what happened and all that stuff. So we got into this machine, and even this one, we were not without problems.
60 Hotel, proceed as requested.
60 Hotel. Yeah, dude, you don't know what that gauge is doing.
All right, sending it or something. I'll go ahead and put it in for maintenance. No, because I got it after what they call a hot, not a hot start, a piston, but it was an overspeed. And the guy that had it before us, who was running it, he started the damn thing with the throttle wide open and ran it up to like 115%.
Holy crap. I didn't know
And
that.
that was in November of last year. And it had to go into the shop, and they thought they went through it, $30,000, pull the engine out. It went through everything.
They got an overhaul, right? Complete overhaul of the engine?
Well, they had to do an inspection on it.
Okay.
Anytime you have a situation, do an inspection and replace whatever was worn or whatever. And we got it back on January 1st. And I'm not sure if you came out January 1st or somebody else did.
No, I was later. So I actually, after what happened, I was actually going to go get my commercial, use the GI Bill. And the reason I didn't was because you got the helicopter back, and I couldn't find time because I needed 3 or 4 weeks to go to Texas.
Yeah.
I could never find time in my schedule with the reserve stuff and the dogs and all that. It was just like, there's too much trouble. So when you called me and said, hey, we can do it here, I was like, well, hell, let's bring the band back together. And then we started in late January. But, you know, we got a couple hours before we started having problems with this.
See, look how much we're using. I don't know what's wrong with that, because the engine hardly has any time on it. All right, even forward.
I mean, beyond my control, but people kept telling me, said, it doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
And I was always in the machine, and with the helmet and the A&R on or your headsets on, I couldn't hear the engine puttering or whatever. until one day somebody else hovered it, and I stepped out of it, and I heard it sound like popcorn. It said, yeah, it's an injector, definitely. And back and forth to the shop, and every time they tried to do something, they never could get it right. So finally, they pulled the engine and sent it back to the guy that rebuilt it after the overspeed. And sure enough, it was a serious injector problem, which they got fixed. I mean, they tried everything. They changed the jug, they changed the mag on it, and then they finally did the injectors completely and came back and everything. That's when it was hovering back again at 21 inches instead of 25 and a half.
That was what, 11 weeks?
11 weeks it was stuck in the shop. They couldn't figure it out.
That was a rough time. And then didn't we have one more problem? We had something else that came up. Oh, the oil tip.
But
that was fixed in one day.
Right.
Yeah, that was fixed in one day.
That came off and the wire came off.
Yeah.
It was bouncing around, but it was stopping at a certain point. And I had a couple of yahoos screaming, oh, he's a terrible instructor, shouldn't let fly like that. But sometimes you got to know the machine too.
Yeah. Well, so we had a lot of fun though. We also did the 505. We went out and met those guys.
With the 505, before that, we did
we did
OH6.
OH6, yeah. We met Brandon and got some time with that. That was a lot of fun.
You good?
We got tower turned up.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Gulfport Tower, Sheriff's there, 1 Gulfport Tower. First 900 ramp with hotel. 1 and 2 will be coastline eastbound, 500 below. Sheriff's there, 1 flight, copy that. Remain west of runway 14 for now for departing beach jet traffic, and departure would be at your risk. Use caution, resume navigation, wind calm.
Got him.
Now it's 4 entering the left closed. Alley 64, thank you.
Then after that, the 505 came in. You got to log some turbine time.
Yeah, got to fly with those guys.
All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, it does need a little bit pedal.
Let's see, we're hovering at 92.
And then it was all work back to business. I struggled with auto rotations, and we talked about making the spot. It was all about making the spot. That was my
No, he did not struggle with auto rotation. He says he did. As his teacher, I said he did.
Drop it down. Drop it down.
Coming up.
Norland Tower, Cirrus 20
Way too high
ready to
fast.
go, runway 18 left.
At 60.
Cirrus 7
roll it on.
Lake front.
Roll it on. Go ahead and abort.
Holding short, 18 left. 2 strap film.
If you mess up the entry, then just go. Fuck it.
Go.
Go ahead and start. Gotta be on the go.
60 Hotel is on the go right, close, back to 20 right.
Helicopter 60 Hotel, roger.
And right aft. Check, check.
Yep.
Rats. Rotors, airspeed, trim, and then you spot. With every landing you do in those jets, is it perfect?
Yeah.
Don't have to have a perfect auto, but you want it always within recoverable to make sure you can walk away from it.
That brings us to the end, and we did the check ride. What, June 30th? Is it June 30th?
Yes, it was. Hang on, before we go any further.
Yep.
We argued about whether we was going on.
That's true.
Because of South Louisiana
That's
weather.
true. That's true. So
once again, everybody, the stuff dripping out of the helicopter is not oil. It's not gasoline.
it's water.
It's condensation. Everybody's asking about that. It's humid as hell down here.
Yeah.
That's why New Orleans is not a summertime destination.
Well, that's why I'm
Believe-
sweating right now. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's like 100 degrees out here. But so we went out there.
And we dodged. We mounted.
Yeah, I don't think it.
I don't even know
the,
we dodged
the
anything.
radar looked bad. The radar looked awful, and I was like, we're not going to be able to do this. And then if we couldn't. Oh, back up. We were supposed to do this June 18th, but somebody didn't confirm. I don't know who that was. Who didn't confirm the actual check ride date?
I messed up with that.
So we went out there.
But weather cooperated.
Weather
for us.
cooperated. We dodged a couple showers and stuff, and then we did an auto to the runway practice.
On the way in.
And then we said, hey, we see that platform.
Then we
and we
practiced.
landed.
It actually go a little bit further than you think, too.
Oh, because of where the skids are?
Yeah.
Wow.
Done great. Great. Going forward, keep 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 going, keep going, keep going. All right, put it down. Oh, you haven't done this before. All the way down. That's what it's like landing offshore, dude.
Crazy.
So that kind of calmed me down.
Yeah.
That got me, and then once we met with Peyton, we started talking about cars, we started talking about careers and stuff. He always has a way of calming people down and getting them in the check ride mindset. And flew with him, did everything that you and I had practiced, and, got through it.
Yep. Passed with flying colors. Matter of fact, on the debrief, I don't think he told me anything specific.
The only thing, the one thing, landing with the hydraulics off.
Correct.
That was the one thing we did not practice.
We flew with them off.
We flew with them off.
We didn't
we
hydraulic
practice.
landing.
So that was a little bit challenging, but I made it work, and we got through it. And then we left hot and in a hurry because storms were rolling in as we were going.
And rolled right around on the way out.
And then we flew back, my first PIC as a PPO.
Yep. And
then we landed here, and that was the end. And what sucks is we didn't get, and this is kind of where I wanted to pick up. So I'd actually tried to record that, but the audio, of course, I'm terrible with audio, didn't work. And dude, it's an end of an era. I think that there was a little bit of emotion when we were talking of just, it's over for now, and
well, one part of it's over.
Yeah, one part of it's over, but we spent a whole year doing this. And you said, what did you say? You said it was like your car. Talk about, what was that? What was it like for you?
Well, I mean, I spent about 9 months rebuilding an old 75 Torino.
Yeah.
And when I drove it out, it was exciting, but the next day it's like, something's missing. I said, I don't have to go to the shop and start working on this thing. It's already finished. I actually thought about looking for another car to keep going with it, but I'm like, even though I do have to look for other students now to kind of fill in to keep the machine flying.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for mainly police pilots. That's my specialty, or turbine guys that want to get it. But we'll take just about anybody that's willing to.
Well, let's talk about that, because we did do kind of a mini interview on the way back, and people have asked, Lester, what's your background? How did you get flying? Like, how did you get here?
How did he get here? 1968 Bell 47 trip with my dad. And it was a flight around the Smoky Mountains. Ever since I knew that's something I wanted to do. 1985, married, 2 kids, started flying out ahead of Lakefront in a Robinson R-22. I think it might be an Alpha model.
Wow.
They were probably only 5 years old back then, or 6 years old. And that school closed up after only 4 hours.
Wow.
And kind of meandered for a while. I had a friend of mine, my neighbor down the street, who was a customs pilot and a CFI, and he said, "Oh, hell with them helicopters, they'll kill you." I said, "We're going to get you an airplane license." I said, "I don't want an airplane license." He goes, "We're going to get you an airplane license." So we started flying T-34, T-34 something.
Really?
Yeah, first flight.
T-34 Alpha or something? Or
No, it was the Beta model, or
Really?
Bravo, or Beta, but it was the name of it. It was a T-34.
The Mentor.
A what?
The Mentor.
The Mentor, that's it.
Yeah.
And we flew that for a while until the spars started giving them problems, and
Yeah.
they grounded them all.
That killed a friend of mine, Don Wiley.
Yeah, this was back in the 90s.
Yeah, late 90s is when he died.
And we found his friend of his had a 152, and I soloed the 152 out of St. John 1994. Got lost a couple of times and realized I better go to ground school and know what all of this is about. Did that and struggled for about 4 years and finally got my fixed wing rating after finding somebody to finish me up. And then the sheriff's office, a friend of mine was running the, which was going to be the newly formed flight division for Plaquemines Parish Sheriff's Office. And I told him I had time in that type of ship and helicopter time and was already a fixed wing license. And he says, well, we want you in the program. So in 2008, they got the Enstrom 480B turbine model, and I've been flying that ever since. But since then, because of my CFI, I also met several other police pilots, and I got Jackson County signed off. I was in the process of getting Harrison County signed off, and we have 2 OH-58s in Jackson County. We have the Harrison has the 06, and Plaquemines has the Enstrom.
Well, how'd you get your helicopter rating? Did they pay for it, or did you go out?
No, actually, I did it. I finished it up.
Yeah.
For Plaquemines in 2008, and then a commercial a year later.
And what kind of helicopter did you fly?
It was actually I went all the way down to Houma in a used 300.
Oh, okay.
Because for one reason, I wanted to learn how to fly a standard.
Who taught you?
A young girl by the name of Jessica.
Okay.
And I can't remember her last name. I'm sorry. And I was her first student. She had just gotten her CFI, and I gave her the opportunity. And I'm always on the ladies' side for that, because I also achieved my instrument rating in airplanes just several months ago because of another young lady in my squadron. You know, so I was glad to help them out as well. And I was her first instrument student.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I got the helicopter rating in Houma in the U-300 when the 22 was here. I actually made the trip. And then about a year later, I got my commercial rating in that same 22 that you were flying.
Yeah.
And about 2 years after that, I decided to get my instructor's license. Trouble is, there was only one person around that would actually do that, and that was Casey out of Baton Rouge, in an R-22 also. And you have a lot of respect for people that could do a fold down on an R-22.
Yeah.
Because I had to do about 70 of them.
Oh my God.
Or, you know, to get proficient in it. And then we did the same check ride with Peyton again, December of 2011.
Wow.
And I've been teaching ever since. And I was one of the only ones actually teaching.
How many students have you had?
I've had about a dozen.
Yeah.
It's not full time. I'm kind of selective. If little Johnny comes up with daddy's money, and that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking for people that really want to do something with it. Well, the harder type. Like I said, I train to turbine standards.
Yeah.
You know, to where you don't have a lot of power to deal with. You got to learn how to manage it, learn how to fly it with the collective. Fly it with the cyclic.
How do people, like if they want to train with you, what's the best way to contact you?
I have a Facebook page called Acadian Helicopters. It kind of looks at some of the pictures. Some of your stuff's on there as well. You get in touch with me, look a phone number, and we don't have anything set up to where we can house anybody, so most everybody I do is local or within a drive. Out-of-town people, when Jackson County was here, which is about an hour and a half away, he would do like a flight in the morning, we'd go eat lunch and do a flight in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You know, if he had the time. And that way he could have been finished literally within about 6 weeks because he was 4 or 5 days a week.
So going back to our flight training, looking back, what do you think your favorite moment was?
Messing with you.
Easy. That's loud. That's really.
Are you distracted?
Yeah, that's really.
Don't cross us.
It's really loud.
Daddy, look at the bird.
Hello.
I hope this works. All right, you ready? Do what?
And that way it'll do all right.
What did you say?
Hear me?
Everything's cutting out on your side. No, it's. How about now? What?
You did good. I mean, so I had to come up with interesting stuff for you to kind of relax you a little bit. Especially when you get pissed off at it, because when my mic went out and nobody else, you didn't pick it up, but everybody else did.
Yeah.
That or trying to aggravate you on landing and making sure you didn't freak out or screw up or whatever, and was able to put the helicopter down. But, the fact that you hovered so well within the first hour.
Yeah.
And I knew you had something, you know, you had what they call it, grit or the right stuff, if you want to call it that, in as far as flying goes.
Yeah.
Then
Wow.
I kind of took a little more pleasure with you, you know, doing some
Yeah,
different stuff.
It was fun. It was a good time. Well, Lester, dude, it's bittersweet, you know. It was. I really wish I'd video, because that was such a bittersweet moment when we landed here,
Mhm.
and it just captured the, you know, the finality, and it's a chapter closing. You know, a new chapter starting,
Yeah,
new
no,
chapter's beginning.
I mean, hopefully one of the vlogs will be with Manstrom, and then we
Yeah.
can go to Jackson County
We'll do
and get
that.
the H-58 stuff at either one.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure you want to meet the chief over there,
Yeah.
just in case.
Yeah. Well, Lester, it's been a pleasure, my friend. It's
Always.
been fun.
Maybe when you have some kids and everything, about 20 years out, we'll go from there.
There you
I'll
go.
teach them how to do it too.
There you go. Well, I hope everybody's enjoyed the series. This will be the last training vlog.
Mhm.
I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Got anything else to say?
Thanks for all the comments. Everybody fly safe, and look forward to hearing from you also. I usually respond to some of the stuff on the comments, and believe me, if you put it up there, I'll go ahead and send you my phone number, and we can chat and ask any questions or answer anything you need.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.
Take care.